This video today, we're gonna cover something. I'm hoping it doesn't take me to the rabbit hole. So, supposed to be a misfiring and a plus bank two having some issues as far as uh, an efficient fuel as far as rich and lean. So, with the misfiring, the code that I'm getting from the scanner, once we hook up the scanner, I'm getting P0300. That means the computer is detecting a misfire. And another code, which is the same thing, similar, P0301. So that O1 signify the first spark plugs, which located on the driver's side right here. First. There's a clicking sound that's coming from, let me back it up a little bit. The first spark plug, the first cylinder. I'm gonna be quiet for a minute and see if you can hear the clicking sound. So I'm hoping you can hear the clicking sound every time it does that, and that's the actual time where the engine shakes. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and find out. Hopefully, it's not the coil itself. Hopefully, it's something simple as far as the wire or the spark plugs. But I'm gonna go ahead and check both. So first thing I did, I went ahead, turn off the engine. Now you're gonna remove, you're gonna undo that pipe, press up, pull it out. All right, careful you don't damage it. Now you're gonna do the bottom, press in, and pull it out. So now you remove it. If you damage there, you're gonna have to replace it. And of course, we just wanna remove that cover right here. You're gonna undo that cap, all right, and check it. Make sure you don't see your oil look like milk. You know how you mix coffee with milk. If you see something like that, residue like that, inside outside, even in here, please consider that as a problem. All right. Make sure there's no debris in here. So normally what I do, I'll get something so I can shove it in there. All right. Just to prevent any debris from getting inside. So go ahead, get a clean fist rag and wipe it real good. There's nothing in there. And pull that out. Sometimes you probably have to remove that. That's engine dipstick. So you can get it out of there. That's good enough. Put that dipstick in there. Alright. You can do two things. You can go ahead, put that in there, or you can go ahead, put a clean rag in there. I mean, don't shove it all the way in there. Normally what I do, I'll go ahead and do this just like this. Alright. Normally. But more I know a lot of people probably do say, let's do that better. So with all that being said, we got our wires exposed. So we can pull that plug. Don't damage it if you're not gonna replace it. So apparently the wire itself, the cord is I replaced it not even a year ago. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the plug. My concern is something could be wrong with the coil itself. So my best bet is gonna be my coil pads. So we went ahead and purchased ignition spark plug tester. Alright, so make the job a little easy for us. Now what I'm gonna do is plug this back. Nice and secure. And I'm gonna go ahead and remove this out of there. And the way this is worked, if you look at it, you see one end is basically the same way where you got the wire for the spark plugs. See that? So all you have to do is just plug this end down to the spark plugs head, and plug the other end of the tester into the coil wire. So that's all it takes. When you're doing that, just make sure that you plug the end that goes to the spark plugs head, put it secure. That's the reason why I had to cut the pause the video so I could do that. And then you get the other end. I well secure. So I'm pretty sure you should be able to see it. Once I crank the vehicle, you should be able to see the light down here. See if I can have it somewhere better. Yeah, that should be good. Plugs. If we have power circulating and we're gonna see the light blinking. Now with the light blinking, it doesn't mean the spark plug is good. Okay. Again, with the light blinking that you're gonna see once I start the vehicle, it doesn't mean that the spark plug is good. What it determines is there's a good possibility that our connection is good, coil is good, and our coil wire is good. But the spark plugs, there's a good possibility that the spark plug may not be good. Okay, stay with me. Now, one more thing before we do anything, I almost forgot. Let's put that bad boys back in there because remember we're gonna start the vehicle. And make sure you put the right end where it's supposed to be. See the arrow where it says engine? That goes down. And make sure it click. That's very important. So again, you can see the light blinking. So that's a good that's a good indication that's saying that coil is good, but we're gonna double check that by moving the test to the next coil. Okay, we're gonna make sure, we're gonna try to confirm, because you see how the light blinking, we want to see the same steady pace, how the light blinking. We want to see the next coil when we test it doing the same thing. If that's the case, that's gonna indicate spark plug down here might be a problem with it. We might have to change. So we're gonna remove the next one right here, which is that one. So that's, we just removed that. Once again, we just removed the second one. We're gonna do the same thing with that. And when you're removing those cables or those wires, as far as the coil wire, hold it all the way up here. Don't pull down here, because if you pull down here, you get a good chance to rip the wire or damage the wire. Hold it up here. Just give it a little twist as you're pulling down. All right. Same thing down here too. Hold it all the way. When you're removing from down, hold it all the way up here and give it a little twist and pull. So all we're doing, same way. All right, we're gonna just switch it. Place that down here. And we're gonna place this here just in case. Again, the only thing we're looking for is the same pace the light was moving. If it's moving faster than the first one, then we're gonna check the next one. Okay, we're gonna check that one right here. I don't know if you can see me. We're gonna check that one, which is the third one. And if it's the same movement, same pace, as far as the light was showing from the first one, is blinking the same way, then we know it's the spark plugs. We got everything together. All right, let's go ahead and do that again. So, from my understanding, what I see is the same thing. How the lights blank. So I'm taking it upon myself. My final decision is um, ignition spark plug one. That's the one that's bad. It's probably the gap, misgapping, wrong gap, or something like that. Because I think when I bought it, it came, they came in pre-gap. So I'm just gonna remove it and look at it. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and reverse that, put the wire back in the next ignition, and go ahead and switch everything back, remove the spark plugs, and take a look at it. So the size socket I'm using this fit the spark plug is a 17. All right, I already pre-loose it. So once you got it pre-loose, so I can go ahead and do that by hand. A lot of time, once you're loose, you can go ahead and do it with your hand. So now here's the spark plugs. I'm gonna check the gap because I don't see anything wrong with it. Again, I changed it not too long ago. Those it's kind of hard to to check the gap on those. And I don't even think you can check the gaps on those. So I went ahead, replaced the spark plug, only one of them, which is the one that was acting up, just to make sure, with the same brand. Now the thing is, I can't tell you if this brand is supposed to be in the vehicle, but this is what they actually give me from AutoZone. The one originally that I removed from the truck last year when I was doing the spark plugs, they were this guy. They AC Delco, and they got a number where it start with 12 62244, and yeah, 12 62 24 41. So now I can't tell you, but they supposed to be the same original spark plugs. So the rest of them are fine, but it's just this one right here. Somehow it looks like it was damaged somehow. What caused there? I don't know. So it's already installed, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug back the wire. There's the shield. Let me see where I put the shield at. This little metal thing tube. I don't know if you see it, just like that. Let me find it real quick. So I went ahead and installed the spark plugs and put the wires back. So the next thing what I'm gonna do is, all right, now we're gonna remove the air intake, which is here, and then we're gonna remove the cover for the manifold. Make sure you undo the plug. You undo this part right here. Do the same thing over here. Press down and pull it out. that out. Show you what you were trying to do with this one. Is undo that. There's one right here, one on the other end. It's the same thing. Just undo those. Loosen it up. That's the plug I mentioned to undo. Undo that plug. Undo this plug. Undo that connection. First input out. There's another plug right here. Undo it. I can't see behind this plug, so I'm just gonna remove the whole sensor. For some reason, I don't know why the plug won't come out. I'm not gonna find it, so I just removed the whole sensor. So we're gonna place it on the side. We're just gonna place it right here, so we don't lose the screw. We're gonna place it right in where it belongs. So we pretty much got everything as far as plug out. And we just go ahead and unloose this connection. You see what I'm doing? Just unloose those connections. A couple on this side. I mean a few on that side, on this side. So there's a connection just like this tube right here. If you can't connect it from here, because it connect down here and it goes around, just do it over here. And once you remove that cover, this whole thing will come out. Now it's time to remove the bolts. There's 4 bolts on this side and 4 bolts on that side. Once you remove them, there should not be anything that prevents you from removing that. If there is, then you just get around it and get it out. I got the tool here up front to hold it loose. This is what I'm using. I'm not using anything professional. The size socket for that, I don't know if you can see it. That's a 10 millimeter. All right, combination. That's what fit that. Insert it in there. This one's already loose. And continue with the rest of it. So now we finished removing all the bolts, all the screws. Let's go ahead and get it out. what you just heard, you got the wire um, harness that clip in the back of the manifold. So there's no way you can undo them. In a better way, that's the way you have to get them out. Nothing really damaged. It just in the back of it, if you can see that the wire goes this way, clip, 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 and you're gonna have to fight with it, but not to damage anything, to remove the wire harness, which is over here. That's all it is. Now the whole thing is basically out. Is anybody that told you this is an easy job, tell them that I say doesn't matter if you know what you're doing. I'm not saying it's hard, but yeah, it's something. To do that job without breaking anything, it's you. I consider you that you know what you're doing and you're a professional on your own opinion. Just take your time. Don't rush. I mentioned earlier as I was we moving the bolts. I thought I didn't know how many bolts in total. I thought you would have 4 here, 5 over there, but in total, as you can see, if I just show it to you, you got 1 here. Let's pick it up a little bit. So total, you have about 5 of them. So you got 1 here, 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 on this side, 5 on the other side. So for people to say again, this is an easy job, no, it's not. It's not an easy job, and if you have a little bit of knowledge, you can do it. Just again, don't rush, don't be scared. Take your time, and you should be fine. Now again, always have you a little magnetic tools just in case you got anything as far as bolts and screws that might happen, you know. Um, fall between the engine, you'll be able to scoop them out. I'm gonna go ahead and get my shaft vac. I got a lot of dust on top of the engine. Before I remove that cover right here, whatever that is, let me go ahead and vacuum that. And especially when you're short, okay, that's not a comfortable way. And you're driving trucks, and you gotta do work like that. You gotta get a step ladder, and that's the reason why I got one. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean the top real good. Oh, as a rule of thumb, Anytime you have your engine intakes open like that, always protect it. Make sure the rag is clean because you don't want anything to fall in there. It might be something as far as screws, bolts, you name it. As long as your rag is clean. I think I'm missing one. I can use this one right here. So pretty much what I'm gonna do right now. Now, some of y'all probably ask question, why is he doing all that? Since I bought the truck, it looks like to me somebody done something already before I bought it. Cause once I removed the manifold head, I was able to distinguish some of the debris, wires, or whatever they were doing, and I was able to see it all there at the bottom of the on top of the engine, but the bottom of the manifold. But anyway, due to the code that I explained in the beginning of the video, um, P0300 and P0301, I know that was a problem. This confirming there's a problem as far as um, ignition spark plug one. But okay, there was another code, P0420, and there was another one, I can't remember what it was, but that saying bank 2 sensor 1 and bank 2 sensor 2, and somehow there's a problem as far as fuel not being efficient. Inefficient fuel, which could be lean or could be rich. So I took it upon myself because I never done this on this truck, this type of truck, as far as Chevy Silverado. So I want that's the reason why I'm doing it, just to make sure. And the last thing I'm gonna do is see what's going on with Bank One. I'm sorry, Bank Two Sensor One and Bank Two Sensor Two, and so on. So again, if it's your vehicle or your truck, take your time trying to diagnose the problem. Now, after I finish doing all that, if I can't figure out what it is or the problem still continue, then I'll go ahead and take it to a shop. But of course, again, I didn't mention unplug your battery, but what I do, I unplug the negative cable. Okay, so turn around, see the cable. You're gonna see the negative cable is unplugged. It's under right here. That's the negative cable unplugged. So that's the reason I have that. Accidentally doesn't touch it. All right. So the only time I'm gonna unplug the positive cable, which is right here, and have the positive cable touch the negative cable for a few seconds prior to 30 to 60 seconds, is to remove all the juice. And if you're lucky enough by doing that process, it'll eliminate whatever code that was this been stored in the computer. If that doesn't happen, I do have a scan tool, so I'll go ahead and use a scan tool and try to erase the code before I go ahead and drive the after I'm done. Now, again, as I'm mentioning all that to you, if all this process I follow and same problem, so that's when I go and take it to a shop and let them deal with it. And of course, the money will come out of my pocket. Right now, I'm not spending a dime. Probably so far, I just spent maybe $30 because of the ignition tester. I had to buy that and the spark plug. So now again, I'm gonna go ahead and check the fuel line, remove the fuel line, and I'm gonna again I'm gonna find a way. But nowadays, back in the old days, you used to be able to remove the fuel lines with most vehicle without even remove the head manifold. So somehow you'll be able to remove it from the side. Just remove the whole fuel line, or you can remove it one by one and check the fuel line one by one. As far as turn the engine on, but I mean turn it on, not turn the car on. Just turn it on, not cranking it. As you're doing that, the pump will kick. Once the pump kicks, then you see fuel uh, coming out from whatever injector you have unplugged, and then you do that for how many injectors you have. If with that process, as you following it, is one of the injectors or more than one, once you turn the car on, once again, not cranking it, and no fuel coming out, as long as you can hear the fuel pump, as long as you know the fuel, you're not having problem with the fuel pump or anything as far as the gas line. But you checking your fuel injectors. If you don't see no fuel squirting out from that injector, so therefore you know you got a problem with that injector. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna improvise, find a way to do that because this way different. Again, from the old days. I again, if you don't know what you're doing, I'm gonna emphasize that. If you do not know what you're doing, do not even attempt to do what I'm just mentioned. Do not even attempt to do what I just mentioned. Don't do it. Because something happened to you. I am not responsible for your mistake. With all that being clear, I'm gonna proceed. Now keep that in mind. Anytime I mentioned earlier, I have my negative cable unplugged. I'm not saying there's no juice in the vehicle, but what I'm about to say is when you're dealing with fuel lines, especially I'm going to undo the fuel lines. Always have a rag just for that reason. You don't want fuel to um, splash in your face. It happens, okay. But at the same time, I don't want fuel on top of the engine. A little bit gonna happen, mistake gonna happen, but I don't want too much fuel. So make sure you get a rag. All right, this is what I've been talking about. Look at how I have one of my bolt that I just removed from here. I was about to show it to you. It fell right in here. So let's see if we can get it. Our little tube, magnetic little tube. So as you can see here, I have all the bolts loose. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's one that goes over here. That's it right here. It goes like this, right there over here. And there's another one, the center one, that goes right here. So I'm not gonna undo the fuel line. What I'm doing is remove the those two lines for the injectors, so I can lift the whole thing up. And back here, I remove the two bolts back here. So once I get that out, this line out, the whole thing will pop out. So I can go ahead and test each injectors. If they spray good, I may have to replace the seals. That's one thing I may have to replace, or I'm looking forward to replace maybe one or two injectors. And if I have to replace all of them, at least I'll go ahead and do that. But that's the process for now. And one thing I want to emphasize, be very careful. I think I mentioned there throughout the video, especially when you're messing around with the fuel lines, you don't know what you're doing, please don't do it. And I also mentioned that in the beginning, this is not an easy job. This is not an easy job. And that's the reason why you take your car to a mechanic to do something like that, they will charge your arm and the legs because it's not a fun job. That's something you want to do it once, and that's it. If you have to do something like that in the vehicle more than once, you might as well just find another vehicle. So we got these few lines out. All right. It's a lot of work. It took me, to be honest with you, almost 2 hours to be able to loosen up the fuel lines. They were stuck. And unfortunately, I had to um, spray in there, WD-40 in there, to be able to let it sit for about 30 to 40 minutes. Went back at it, would not budge. Let it sit again for another 15, 20 minutes. Went back at it. Now, this is when you're facing the engine, this is the right side. Okay? So, the side's out. It looks like the seal's gonna have to be replaced, all of them. We got the other side loose a little bit, but it's not quite yet. We're gonna go ahead and let it sit for a minute. These these things are not easy to remove, especially if you're doing the job. If you're doing this for the first time, Chevy, Chevy. Not easy. I finally get the second fuel line out, which again, where you see the letter R, that mean right side. But again, if you're facing the engine, just like I'm facing the vehicle, this is gonna be your right, this is gonna be your left. But nevertheless, forget everything what I just said. It's a good thing they got the letters on them. R mean right, L mean left. So you can't mistakenly mismatch them. So another thing too I gotta show you is if you look at inside, let's see if I can get some wires here. Trying to show you what this inside look like after we done remove. Look at how dirty and filthy they are. And all of them the same way. Look at all them debris. So I might have to clean every one of them before I even do anything as far as putting back together. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm assuming all the injectors need to be replaced. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace all of them. So that's a job. Once again, you want to do it once. It's like a heart surgery. You do it once and be done with it. If something's wrong with it, be done with the whole vehicle.